We're an independent hotel. We're very mid-market, and we really try. Our mission is to really try to reflect what Boulder's all about. To try to act like Boulder, to try to feel like Boulder, to try to be fun and informal with our customers, and try to do those things that we think are important to Boulder. So the Boulder Outlook is the first zero waste hotel in Boulder. Although we're happy to hear there's going to be another one soon, we think. And it's really been an exciting process for us. It really started from our commitment to try to be a Boulder hotel and reflect the Boulder community. And one of those things that we think Boulder is about a healthy environment, about protecting the environment. So currently, we get about 80% of our solid waste that comes out of this property is either recycled or composted. So only about 20% of it's going to the landfill right now. Our goal is to get that to 90%. When we get to 90%, we'll try to get to 92%. And it's really a journey and a process. So we're here at one of our solid waste receptacle areas for our guests to use. And we really have 4 different containers that we have at each of our stations. The first one, which is the exciting one, is the ability to compost. And again, EcoCycle hauls that to a commercial compost facility, but they can take any paper products that's soiled, they can take all of our cornstarch-based material, they can take meat, they can take bones, they can take dairy, because it is a commercial facility that gets the temperatures up high enough and kills the bacteria. So it's really one of the exciting parts that's been added to our ability to reduce our impact on the environment. We still have our basic trash receptacle here, but what we've done is we've labeled these as landfill receptacles and put this lovely picture up here to try to give people a picture of what a landfill might look like and why we want to keep things out of here. We sometimes refer to this as the everything else container. We have our commingled container bin here for plastics and cans and soda pop things and those sort of things that can go in here. We have these great things that EcoCycle produce too that can show our customers what can go in these containers, because it does get confusing, particularly with the plastics. There's a lot of different types of plastics and some can be recycled, some can't, so it is still a little confusing. And then our fourth and final one is our mixed paper. Clean paper can go in there. If it's food soiled, it can be composted, but if it's not, if it's newspapers, if it's office papers, those things can all go in here and be recycled into reusable paper. You know, the zero waste, it really starts with looking at how you purchase and what you bring into your stream that you have to manage. And we had the traditional plastic straws and cups and styrofoam, and we've been able to replace all those with products that are either paper, which is compostable, or recyclable. And also there's some great products that are made of cornstarch, and some are made of plant cellulose, so they'll look like plastic, to-go containers and spoons and forks, but they're actually compostable. And one of the neat things about the composting we do with EcoCycle is that 90 days from the day that leaves our door, it's dirt. They do a commercial composting facility, they turn it very quickly, and so it's back to a dirt form in 90 days from leaving our doors. But we looked at this a year or so ago and probably did what traditionally everybody does. We sat down with our pencils and said, well, it's going to cost us more to buy this product and it's going to cost us more to haul this, and we really looked at it as a cost of doing business. But when we did our analysis, we said, but it's important to us, so we're going to absorb that cost. And then as we started doing it and started talking to people about it, it brought all this additional business into us. We're in one of our guest rooms now, and again, what we're trying to do here is give our guests the ability to compost and to recycle in their rooms and to be part of the process. We had to provide different containers now in each one of our rooms, one for the everything else pile, the landfill pile, one for commingled containers, which was pretty easy to do, one for mixed paper and one for composting. One of my favorites is the mixed paper one. We had to come up with a solution to come up with about 200 containers for a mixed paper collection. We found these boxes that were originally manufactured in 1992. They were an overrun. They were in a warehouse down in Denver. So we purchased them actually, so we didn't consume any new resources doing this. And then we had a party day where we had our staff come in with their families, and we had a big fiesta and had lots of food and paid everybody. And we had these all hand painted. And we used recycled house paint, the little bits of leftover that you have in house paint containers. So we used no new paint on this too. So we reused all the materials that went into these boxes. So they're fun and they're funky, and some of them are pretty beautiful like this one, and some of them look like they were painted by a 5-year-old because they were painted by a 5-year-old. The fourth container that we had to give our customers is some way to compost in their room. And what we've done, we have these hanging on our closet, and we've given them these cornstarch bags. So if they have compostable materials, banana peels, apples, any food products, tissues, soiled tissues can go into these. They can just put them in these compost bags, and we don't have to handle that again. These bags are fully compostable, so our staff can just pick them up and get them right in the compost bin, and off they go to the composter. So we're standing out back now by our composting bin. Again, we have different containers for mixed papers, commingled containers, those things that you're used to. But this is our compost bin, and this is all material that before we started this program would have gone right to the landfill. But now all this can go to a commercial composting facility. You can see it's food products. It's these beautiful things that look like plastic but are actually made of cornstarch. So they are 100% compostable. And these will get picked up. This is really about 2 days worth of composting. So it's a pretty impressive number, or pretty volume, that can now get recycled and go back into the stream in a good way, rather than sitting in a landfill and staying there for hundreds of years. So it's an exciting place. It's not a beautiful place, but it's an exciting place. The small containers that we saw indoor are now replicated out here, because when it comes out of the hotel, it comes into these bigger containers for hauling. The nice thing is our smallest one is the trash receptacle. It's now the smaller one of the group. We have 2 for mixed paper and cardboard. We have the compost that we've seen before. We have commingled containers on the other side. We also, as a restaurant, we have a lot of grease, frying grease and stuff, and that's all hauled by a company that turns it all into 100% biodiesel. So we complete the cycle with our leftover grease from the fryers as well. Every stone you uncover reveals the next step to take. We've done a lot of things. We've done several energy audits. We've put in the compact fluorescent bulbs and tried to reduce our energy consumption. We have an indoor pool here behind me, and that's a chlorine-free pool. It uses bromine and ozone, and it also has a substance in it called pantol, which is actually a waxy substance that floats on top of the water and reduces the evaporation by 80%. So it really helps us with water conservation, which is really critical here in Colorado. We've recently switched out all our cleaning products. I mean, we used to use the traditional Ajax and chlorine-based stuff that most hotels use. We switched all those out to a product from Green Solutions. It has low VOCs. It's very environmentally sensitive. We think it's better for our guests. We think it's better for our workers, and better for the indoor environment. So, and we keep looking at our next step. And we're also standing in one of our 11 pure allergy-friendly rooms. These rooms actually have received a special treatment and have a special air purification system in them, have carbon filters in the water showers, have all the ducts have been cleaned out specifically for this treatment. They have tea tree oil dispensers in there to prevent mold growth, hypoallergenic covering on all the on the pillows and on the mattresses. So we have a handful of these rooms that are really designed for people who have allergies. The air is much cleaner in here and reduces the allergy. And I know there's lots of pollen in the air out here in Colorado, so I appreciate these rooms too. Every week we sit down and we say, okay, what's the next thing we can tackle that we think we can really accomplish and do a good job of that will have the most immediate impact? And currently, the most exciting we're looking at right now is purchasing carbon offsets. And we're in the process of pricing that to try to offset the carbon dioxide that we produce. So again, we'll be a carbon neutral hotel. And there's the list goes on, and when we get done with that one, we'll go to the next one. One of the exciting things about it is we've had guests who come back, didn't know this was possible, want to know more about it, and we think are bringing that back to communities around the nation and around the world, really, for that matter, some of these ideas and some of these concepts. And so hopefully it can go beyond our door, because that's what it's really about. I mean, we can only do so much, but if we can set an example and get more people to do it, that's when it'll really be impactful. So.